Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Jasmy update. It's a really good day to be alive. I can tell you that with a high degree of certainty. If you're unsure of what I'm talking about, I just want you to look to my right and you can see the whole market is really green here. Today is one of those days where you actually appreciate being in this market, because I can tell you with a high degree of certainty, there is no other market that can produce something like this. But obviously this is the riskiest, but it is what it is, right? Obviously the market is excited at the backdrop of the news that XRP is actually not a security, right? So I hope you guys also hold the XRP coin, because it's one of the greats actually in the crypto space. It has been there for almost like 10 years. And I think it's something that is good to hold. I actually hold it, although I don't even talk about it that much. It's actually my third largest holding, like when it comes to the crypto space. It's just behind Ethereum and Bitcoin in my portfolio. But enough for the XRP thing. Let's quickly get into the price. So on the last update, we were actually looking at the Jasmy price in a 4-hourly time frame, and we were looking at bearish structures. Obviously, I'll show you those ones in a minute. But at the end of it all, we were looking at this falling wedge that we actually managed to draw during that video. So we can see that we have actually managed to break out and have a back test of it. We are continuing to the upside. The technical price target at the very minimum is the top of the wedge. That's something like $0.0046 per Jasmy. But as I mentioned in that video, you could actually go ahead and try to extend it here. So from the very top here to the bottom of the thing, you could actually be treating this as a pennant, as a flag. So from the area of breakout here, or let's say the back test here, you would come up with something like a price target of $4.0062 per Jasmy. That's amazing, because if you want to go ahead and measure this here, you would actually come up with something like so what is this here? It's something like a 5%. This is amazing for the Jasmy price set. If you want to be conservative, you could actually do something like this here, not to the very bottom, but where the candles are actually much more solid right there, right? And then come again to your area of breakout here, you could come up with the price target of something like $0.0057 per Jasmy. Still, in percentage terms, it's something that is amazing also. From the breakout level, it's something like a 43-44% pump, right? So that's amazing. Huge opportunity here on the Jasmy price set, but this is not all, obviously, right? What we want to see for continuation to the upside, we want to see the Jasmy price set beating this thing that we were looking at. We had a Wyckoff distribution pattern right here. We were looking at this Wyckoff distribution pattern saying if we get rejected right here, you could see the Jasmy price set continue to fall to the downside. But as you can see here, the Jasmy price set managed to fight that resistance off, and we are sitting way above that resistance level. We are even closer to our price target, where we were saying that this is when this whole structure is completely invalidated. So that price target that we were looking at was something like $0.0044 per Jasmy, and as you can see, the Jasmy price set is even closer to that level, breaking the resistance, then coming back to break the support level. So this is amazing stuff here. I mean, fingers crossed we get that in between today and the weekend, and that will be amazing for the Jasmy price set. We continue to the upside. Going back to our daily time frame, you remember we've been monitoring this structure, I think, for the longest time, honestly. And what we were looking for here, this is a falling wedge, and as you can see, falling wedges actually are very efficient on the Jasmy price set. So 4.5 cents is one of my main price targets here on the Jasmy price set, as well as something like 10 cents, right? So that would be amazing if we see something like that on the Jasmy price set. But do we have any indications that we are actually going to get there, right? So we already broke out of that falling wedge here. He had a back test, although it wasn't quite successful. We got a massive rejection. This is when the Binance news came that they were pushing Jasmy to the innovation zone. So that was actually a blessing in disguise, in my own opinion, because we eventually managed to get into our zone. If you remember, when we were back here, I was saying that I'm not really yet convinced that this was the back test that we needed. So we eventually got it, although it was violent and very scary. We'll see what happens. But in my own opinion, I see the Jasmy price set continuing to the upside right here. So it will be something like this here. We'll continue going higher and higher, right? So let's take a look at some indications to see whether this thing is actually going to play out. If you would take a look at the RSI, you remember that we were looking at the RSI saying that more often than not in this bear trend, we have actually been rejected like around the 60 mark here, 65 mark. You can see sharp rejections here on the RSI, corresponding to sharp rejections as well on the price set. So this has been an area of a headache on the Jasmy price set, and it wasn't different in the recent rejection that we got right here. I was in the camp that, you know what, maybe this time around we can break it, because it looked like we were working the area in a different manner compared to how we were working the area. So you can see sharp rejections here, but this time around, yeah, we got a sharp rejection eventually, but it was a little bit different. But the most important thing on the RSI is that we are actually getting a bounce in where we normally get bounces when you are in a strong trend to the upside. So we just, kissed it a little bit, and we are continuing to the downside. It will be interesting to see in the coming days if we are going to continue and break above 60-65 thereabouts. But to be honest, it actually could be too late because usually when something like that happens, it's in a violent fashion, right? So you could miss an opportunity, but we'll see what happens right there, right? So this is what I'm looking out for here on the RSI. It's looking pretty good. Having a bounce from this area is amazing. And taking a look at the MACD here, you can see on the daily time frame, as I was mentioning in the last video, that if we have like sustained price action to the upside on the Jasmy price, that we could turn this MACD, and that's exactly what happened today. We are starting a new cycle on the MACD right here, and you can see growth is beginning to come on the Jasmy price. This is all good stuff for the Jasmy price. We're looking at the 50-daily moving average, saying that this is one of the most important moving averages on the price. As you can see here, it acts as resistance time and again on the Jasmy price. And whenever it does something like that, it's like really wild and violent here. Take a look at this, and also this rejection that we had right here, where you could see another rejection here. Let me quickly show you another rejection right here. So yeah, this is an important level on the Jasmy price. Now my worry was that we were sitting right below it here. So eventually today we managed to break above it. It's no longer a place, in my own opinion. Once we get a daily candle outside of that moving average, we are ready to go. So, I mean, pretty much exciting stuff on the Jasmy price set here. We would have to wait and see what happens. But on the scale of probabilities, it's looking like the bears are losing to the bulls. And that's an amazing thing, right? Just remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? But if you like the content, don't forget to click to tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family. And if you could, please subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye.